Hello students, this is continuation of the last class. So we had stopped in between. So here we can see we were talking about the noble ideas. So when we have lot of peoples, lot of influencers, lot of leaders who have been there, they try to influence us through their work or through the policies what they have done. So here we had seen that George Santayana puts history as it's a treasure of noble ideas and it is a light to show the right path. So history is a treasure, means it is something very important which has been preserved and is light to show the right path. So it shows us the right path. Then moving on to the seventh one, history helps in broaden our outlook. So history is something which will broaden our outlook, means the way we think, the way we perceive things, it will change. The study of history helps us to get knowledge about the people of different countries, traditions, customs, cultures and civilization. So history is something which will show us in the not just of from one point of view. We will see in every different countries' culture, different traditions, cultures, etc. So it is something which is wide range to understand. It broadens the outlook of mankind. It also broadens the outlook of mankind. The details recorded in history relating to art, architecture, literature and religion expands one's horizon of knowledge. So it expands one's horizon of language. The way we look, it changes. The 8th point is history promotes international peace. The world history has already witnessed the misgivings of 2 world wars. So we have misgivings of 2 world wars. Okay, that is your First World War and Second World War. And the Second World War completely changed the assumption of humankind. If any other war takes place in the future, it would be destroy the whole world. So what happened during the end of the Second World War? USA bombed Japan, that is the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The atomic bombs was being blast. Because of that, even today there are children in Japan, in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, born with deformities. Means they have so many physical challenges to do. So now every country has nuclear bombs within them. So if world war starts, everyone will go start bombing each other and world will come to an end. So history has pointed out that the awareness of the culture and narrow nationalism of the other countries led to such wars. So what happened? History has shown us that yes, if we bomb, now everything will come to an end. So because of that, we are having international peace, which each and every country that we have to not have war. We will talk and decide things. Today there is a great deal of competition among different countries in processing nuclear weapons and wars, equipments for the development of cordial relations between nations and history of the world history in the need of the hour. So what happens is we try to have a cordial, like you have nuclear weapons, that is the atomic bombs which is being there. So what happens? Because of this, we are having a good relationship between one another, and we study history and we understand this, that is having so many problems if we use nuclear bombs. The world has become a global village with the development of science and technology and improvements in transport systems. So what happened? It is a global village where there's development. Day by day everything changes. Okay, earlier you used to sit and study in class. Now the technology is developed, you're attending an online classes. Every country depends on the other for the fulfillment of their needs. So it is not just we can grow our own crops. And for example, if India is famous in cotton, rice, etc., and some other countries are famous in something, and we try to get things from there. For example, we get petroleum from the Arabian countries. So there are history of the amicable understanding among nations. History has given details about the importance of League of Nations and the UNO and their role in establishing peace over the world. So we have the UNO, which is it deals with between countries and it teaches the peace, like having peace within the countries and to have knowledge among everyone. So your United Nations organization plays like a mediator, okay, to solve all the problems with the nation, okay, and they try to establish peace. There should not be any discrimination based on caste, creed, religion in the society. So you should not have any differences like caste. You should not have differences between your upper caste or lower caste, creeds, and religion. You should not differentiate between you are from this religion, I am from this religion. No. Only the main thing is humanity plays a prominent role. Next, you have history has professional uses. History is competitive. It is a competitive world. History is main core subject for the competitive exams like IAS, IPS, IFS, KS, etc. So history is something each and everyone should know. Yes, for example, you say history is a stream, and for example, you will get bored. You will say history classes means we will try to sleep, but history is something which is really interesting, and you will try to adapt it, and it is very important for all your competitive exams like IAS, IPS, IFS, KS. You should study history. The historical knowledge is a matter of necessity for students, teachers, lawyers, journalists, administration, and statesmanship. Politicians need historical knowledge in the implementing. So what happened? Your students, teachers, lawyers, the important people should know history. For example, your political leader should know the history. Who was the earlier MLA, MP, or example anything when he's trying to give a speech or doing an administrative reforms. Thousands of historians are working in Department of Archaeological Survey of India. So what is ASI in history? It is Archaeological Survey of India. Means archaeological, we will try to go and excavate things and search things like who were ruling us earlier and how did they implement things like that under the central and state government. So we have Archaeological Survey of India in two levels, that is your central level and state level. Archaeologists conduct excavation and throw new light on the past. So archaeologists, they try to do research everything, and they try to bring the past to the light. They not only discover antiquities but also preserve them, for which the government appoints professional historians. So for example, if they are trying to dug and take something out and they try to preserve it, for example they try to keep it in the museum, they have some places where they'll keep it and preserve it for the future generation to know it. New opportunities have opened up for the students of history at museums. So you have museums where you can go have a look at it, then archives, then you have tourism development and related fields. So tourism development, you can go see that places and come here, historical monuments, etc. Thus history has professional uses. So history is being used in many ways. So next point is history removes prejudices. Means history is something which is not biased. Okay, history helps us to remove prejudices, particularly relating to caste, creed, color, class, language, etc. So we cannot tell that of a person, you can't hate a person based on his caste or religion. Everyone are equal. These prejudices did much harm among people and nations in the past. But in the past, people used to blame people. Why you're from this race, you're from this caste, why should you have this? But now you can't do that. Okay, extreme nationalism was one of the major causes for the two world wars. Okay, so because of nationalism, okay, for example, my country is great, because of these regions you had two world wars. That is the first world war and the second world war, which happened in the national side. You had two groups, that is Axis and Allies. So first world war was much significant during the period of 1918. Then you had your second world war, which played a major role because of Hitler. So he changed the aspect of seeing the nation. He was a dictator. This war killed millions of people and brought untold misery to the people. But this war was a miserable. The Second World War was just a miserable, like your partition which happened in India after your Britishers had gone back. So Hitler killed so many Jews in Germany, and there was gas chambers, and he killed people, women, child, old people, etc. That's why there should be peace, friendship, and coordination between nations. So only you have to have friendship with one or the other nation. This is possible only through studying of history. If you study history, you know, there is so many problems in this, so next time we will not do this. So to conclude, history is a source of inspiration to individuals, nations, and the world as a whole. So as a whole, history is an inspiration. It also serves as a laboratory to all social sciences. So it is like a head. It is head subject for all the social science subjects, okay, of knowledge. It is a gist of all important human action. So they're trying to tell what human have done, okay, and it guide to the human mankind. A remark by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar: those who forgot history cannot create history. For example, if you're trying to forget history, it is very tough to create history. So history is something you should remember. It is a memory, and you have to create history as well. So through this chapter, I think you would have understood, children. This is the introduction chapter, and we read about this chapter. So in first PU textbook, you'll be dealing with the world history. So when you see the world history, you will see still now you would have studied in school about history, as you would have studied about king, queens, etc. They are the same thing will be studied, but in this first chapter, so what are the main points? So I'll be highlighting the main points here for you guys. So I'll be just summarizing the whole chapter for you, for you students here now. So we saw the meaning of history. So history means past events which has been there, or inquiry or investigation. And father of history is Herodotus. Then we saw different kinds of definition given by different people. Then we saw the difference between BC and CE. We saw the different definitions given by the different people. So Herodotus, the father of history, he said that history is the history of Persian wars, deals with the war between Persian and Greeks. He said that one of the important points. So the definition given by father of history is a record of great heroes and unique events to be remembered by the future generation. So this is one of the important points, students. Then you have the definition given by St. Augustine, then Karl Marx. Then you have given by J.B. Bury. Then you have given by Arnold Toynbee. Then given by Jawaharlal Nehru. So you guys can revise, for example, if you can remember all the definitions and what does it mean. Then we studied about the importance of study of history. Why should you study history? Okay, so we had different levels of points. The first point was history is a memory of past events. So something which has happened and we try to remember it. Then history teaches religious tolerance. So history teaches us for example, how to have a brotherhood with one religion, other religion. Then history is a source of inspiration. History tries to inspire the next generation students. Then history promotes patriotism. History is laboratory of social sciences. So it is the head of all the social sciences. Then you have history infuses noble ideas. So given by the great leaders. History helps us to broaden our outlook, the way we see things. History promotes international peace. So we'll have international peace with other countries. Then history as professional uses. So we use history in the professional uses, subjects like for writing IAS, IPS exams. Then you have history removes prejudices. So history is not having any bias, everything is equal. Then you can see Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in the last, he says, those who forget history cannot create history. So if you forget history, it is very tough to people to understand history. So in this chapter, children, you can understand there are a lot of questions being given. So there are 12 one-word questions. I will try to brief you out. So what is the meaning of history? So meaning of history means history means inquiry or investigation. So from which language the term history is being derived? I will just now brief you out the question answers in detail. I will be giving it to you later. So what is the meaning of the word hysteria? So you can see that in page 1, para 1. From which language the term history is being derived? That is Greek word. Who is called as the father of history? Herodotus. To which country did Herodotus belong? Greek. Mention the work of Herodotus, the history of Persian wars. Who wrote the book The City of Gods? St. Augustine. Who gave the economic interpretation of history? Karl Marx. Write the definition of history by Karl Marx. It is in page 3, para 1. What is J.B. Bury's definition about history? Again, this is in page 3, para 2. Mention the book of Arnold Toynbee. It is a study of history. Who defined history as the rise and fall of civilization? It is Arnold Toynbee. What is the definition of Jawaharlal Nehru about history? Again, this is in page 4, para 2. Then moving on. This is 2-word questions. Mention any 2 definition of history. So you can write any 2 definition of history given by the 2 people. So let it be by Herodotus and Jawaharlal Nehru, or by Arnold Toynbee. Any one of the 2 definition you can write. Then mention the works of Karl Marx. Again, this is in page 3, para 1. That is Das Kapital and Communist Manifesto. Which are the 2 important works of Nehru? It is in page 4, para 2. Then mention any 2 professional uses of history. So where we use history as a professional uses in competitive exam, that is for IAS, IPS, IFS, etc. Then for teachers, lawyers, etc. people, it has been used. Then write the definition of history. So this is 15 to 20 sentence. So for 5 marks. So you can write definition given by every 5 people. 5 definitions you can write. Explain the important study of history. So you can write 6 to 7 points of important study of history and you can clear it. So this chapter is the introduction. You will know what is history, why history is needed, who is father of history, definition of history, why should we study history, etc.